everybody, and welcome to the Big Idea of the Week. I'm June Brockmeyer, and today we're very excited because, well, spring has sprung, and we have something to talk about with you today. It's spring cleaning for your CRM, and we have the very own sales whisperer, Wes Schaeffer, joining us today to give us a little bit of advice. And how are you, Wes?
I'm good. Thanks, June. How are you?
We're doing great here in Arizona. I know you're in California. We appreciate you taking the time to give us some pointers and tips as to how people can clean up their sales and marketing, especially when it comes to Infusionsoft. What can you tell us, Wes?
Well, in the beginning, don't be afraid to make a mess, first of all. People always, sometimes they get too analytical, right? They get too wrapped up. But, I always say masterpieces are not made in a clean kitchen. Okay, so embrace your messiness, okay? And so one of the big things that I see people, a big proliferation is tagging, okay? I've used Infusionsoft since 2008, and tagging was the way that we did things, okay? In the webinar and in the ebook, we'll talk about goal completion reports, which is a great new way in the campaign builder to identify people, right? But tagging is one of the keys, obviously, to segmenting the list. Go in and make sure that your tagging makes sense, and B, that it's not repetitive, okay? And there's no particular right or wrong when it comes to tag categories and tags. I always equate it to filing your bills, right? Some people file their most recent bills in the very front, some file them in the very back. There's not a right or wrong as long as it makes sense. But if you find yourself with duplicate tags, you don't have to delete the tag. I don't recommend you do right away. Anyway, if they have the same name but they're in different categories, you can simply rename one of them, okay, and then move the category, and all of those contacts will be updated. So that's a biggie. Another is products. If you find yourself with old products that you're no longer offering, at a minimum, if you're not selling that anymore, or if it's just not a priority right now, maybe your business has kind of changed, maybe you'll bring it back later, so you don't want to delete it, make it invisible in the cart, okay? So in the storefront. So that way it's still in your system, but if you're using the storefront, it won't be there for people to select. Stepping away from Infusionsoft for a moment, clean up your inbound email list. Most of us in the Infusionsoft community, we follow the info marketers out there. We're always doing research. If you find your inbox flooded with stuff, I literally about twice a year, I just go on an unsubscribe rant, okay? And I find myself unsubscribing from 10, 20, 30 different email lists. And if you don't want to unsubscribe from all of them, use a filter and just have them, like I funnel everything through Gmail. Their filtering is very smart, and I send things that I want to research later, so it skips my inbox.
If you don't want to delete them right away, you don't have to, and this applies to everything you've mentioned, to your tags, to your categories, your products, even your email. So as a general recommendation before we continue, why would you say it's important to do this in the first place, to clean up your database and your email and your business?
It just has to be clear what it is you're trying to automate and what the end goal is, okay? So in that regard, everything needs to be as streamlined as possible.